All right, welcome. Today is uh today is Christmas Eve. It is the 24th of December. It's noon right now from where I'm at. This is going to be a short one. I was actually going to do this two times. There was two times I was going to do it. I was going to make it 30 minutes long, but then I was like, you know what? Every time I try to do it, my mother would come home or whatever, and it'd be weird to talk in front of the camera while my mother's around, so I didn't do it. In any case, the only reason why I'm putting this up is because I read a comment from a video from one of my videos like, "Oh, why have you become so silent about Kefir now?" I'm not silent about Kefir. It's just like I just wanted to have time to just talk for 30 minutes, and I don't even really want to talk right now. But let me just get into it right now. So I've been for the past 72, 73 days. So that's like, is that 2 months? 2 months and some change. I've been drinking kefir every day. Never skipped a beat. And the past 66 days, I've been drinking kombucha every day. Never skipped a beat. And for the bulk of that time, I drank just 1 cup. Um, and in the past 24 days, I've been drinking 2 cups of kombucha. In the past 20 days, I've been drinking 2 cups of kefir. The reason why I decided to drink 2 cups is because it didn't feel like it was effective. I didn't feel like it was effective at all, and I felt like I should have upped the intake. And I recall people saying, I recall Josh, the Gut War, visit him, subscribe to him, and what's his name, Salvador. I think his YouTube channel is called Cure Trimethylene. Both of them said they like at least drank 2 cups to 4 cups a day. So I was like, okay, let me try to drink 2 cups a day. To make a long story short, I do see that there are reductions in the odor, or at least when I'm out and about, and I rarely go out and about. The only times I ever went out and about is going to the grocery store or going to the DMV to take my test. To make and within that, I actually passed my like written test for the DMV, so now I have to do the training. But that's besides the point. Let's just talk about this kefir stuff and this kombucha stuff, so then I could just turn it off and people can stop talking to me, asking me about this stupid shit. So I do think upping the intake of your kombucha or your kefir is really good. So, but I'm not. A lot of people are just buying homemade kefir. I'm drinking. I mean, not, they're buying store-bought kefir. I'm drinking homemade kefir. Here's another thing. There's actually I was going to. I did find that within Whole Foods they do have organic whole milk, pasteurized, but I've noticed that within actually Publix they have organic whole milk pasteurized. So I stopped going to Whole Foods because it's just a lot faster just to go Publix. In any case, so I use organic whole milk pasteurized, and the reason why I actually hate drinking kefir is the fact that I would have to get like this 128-ounce whole milk, and it can't fit in my it can't fit in my refrigerator, so I would have to like actually store it in my grandmother's house. And whenever I need to fill up 64 gallons, I would like go back to my grandmother's and fill up 64 gallons in my container in order for it to fit inside my own refrigerator in order to do milk kefir. Um, but I wanted to say that, damn, it's already 4 minutes. I wanted to say, so for like a good bulk of the time, I was just drinking 1 cup of kefir, 1 cup of kombucha. But then I said, okay, let me start really doing it, start really adding more into it. So I started drinking 2 cups of kombucha every day, 2 cups of kefir every day. I also bought sauerkraut, and I would put like at least 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut on my salads. I would try to eat salads every day. And another thing I want to say is I don't think the food-based probiotics alone is the thing that reduced my odor. Um, and the reason why I feel like I reduced my odor is because I don't really see people rubbing their noses or anything like that. When I went to the DMV, like late November, I was still drinking like homemade kefir, homemade kombucha and shit, and just 1 cup a day. And I remember vividly, I went to the DMV to take my first CDL test, failed it with flying colors, but when I the thing is, it was so packed. I remember it being so packed, and this was like the day before Thanksgiving, and it was so fucking packed. And I remember just like whenever I'd be walking up to people, or when I had to stand next to somebody, or there was somebody sitting behind me, they would like they'll be like making all this like bullshit noises and shit. But fast forward 3 weeks later, drinking 2 cups of kombucha and 2 cups of kefir and the sour with the sauerkraut, uh, it's significantly less. There's still instances where I feel like I don't want to say significantly. It's noticeable. There's a noticeable difference. There's still instances where I feel like I'm paranoid, or there are people. I'm either paranoid or people are still like they're acting weird around me, but it's like very subtle to the point that I don't know if it's just me just being paranoid or not. That's why I don't want to say I'm cured. I'll just say there's a noticeable difference, and I don't think kombucha and just kefir alone is a thing that dramatically reduced my odor, because you also have to understand I'm not only just doing that. I think the diet plays the major role in everything. If you don't get this diet thing under control, at least from my experience, and at the same time, again, I cannot detect my odor at all, so I'm just basing it off of what I think. I mean, what I think in my just the anecdotes I have, um, because not only within this like 3 week time span from late November to now, I was consuming only like brown rice, broccoli, a veggie smoothie that included celery, cucumber, zucchini, and extra leftover kefir milk. And then I would eat like 2 salads a day. So I was eating mostly green. And I feel like that was the bulk reason. Not only that, I would put in like an extra tablespoon of chlorophyll. So I would have, like, I made a video about the top 5 things that I think reduce my odor. And chlorophyll, exercise, diet, and probiotics was the thing. And 4 of those 5 things I was actually doing. And I think that's the reason why I was dramatically reducing. I had noticeable difference in my odor. It's already 7 minutes. I didn't want to make it that long. So I think like within diet, I think 70% of the reason why I smell less is the diet alone. And that's the reason why I think I do think food-based probiotics plays a factor, but I don't think it's as significant as people think it is. But again, this is just my opinion. I don't think it's the panacea. I don't think it's just the cure-all for everything, but I do think there is something there. However, uh, like again, just eating mostly greens, and I was exercising a lot to sweat out the odor, and I was doing intermittent fasting, and I added chlorophyll in my diet. Not only that, just eating greens, like I said before, with the food-based probiotics, there was a noticeable difference within the odor, and consistently doing it, having a consecutively every day, having this like very restrictive. Sometimes I would eat chicken breast, but I'll eat half a chicken breast. Like, it was very restrictive. Right now it's like Christmas Eve, so I'm gonna eat like shit. Actually, I've been eating like shit for the last couple of days. I was already 8 minutes. You get the point. I just wanted to just respond to a comment, because some people think I'm holding out on them. It's like, no, it's just like, there's a lot of people, since it's Christmas time, I don't really have time to myself and shit, basically. And this is the only time I have time for myself, so I just wanted to answer that. Salute everybody